Hello, I welcome everybody who joined us. My name is Olga Atamanova, and I'm glad to welcome you in the Media Center of Ukraine today. We invited you today to the event that is called Roof Over the Head, the right for the civilians, why this right of housing for the civilians remains only on the paper. We have seen some procedures being violated during this war, and there is many cases registered from the side of the Russian Federation, starting with concentration camps and ending different facilities, torture chambers, colonies, and so on and so on, and taking captives, civilians captives, and imprisoning them. After they are freed from captivity and returned to their houses, it's in majority or in portion, it's their homes may be occupied or even destroyed. So sometimes we have to liberate them from the captivity, literally from the captivity. And let's talk about this, and let's take into account that we have this special law for the special protection of the people that are proved to be sustained damage from the Russian Federation during the combat activities. And so oftentimes these people don't get any help after they are getting out of the captivity, and why this happens. We will be talking about this today too. Our speakers today, Ihor Kotelianets, head of the Association of Relatives of Political Prisoners of the Kremlin; Svitlana Odintsova, legal analyst at the Association of Relatives of Political Prisoners of the Kremlin; Serhii Davydiuk, recently released from illegal detention, a representative of the ministry. Online, we will be having Victoria Herasimenko. She is the representative of the social care service in Zaporizhia. So I know that you have prepared an analytical report on this topic. So let's start with you, Mr. Ihor, and please. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone who found possibility and to join us today here during this event, where we want to emphasize, to bring some attention to the problem that is unfortunately remaining unsolved. And this is the people that are returned from the illegal captivity. And as you may know, there is a law that socially protects people who return from captivity, and on the paper this law promises a lot, and it also gives the possibility to formally, legally recognize a person that's returned, assigned a status of to get their normal identity back, and all the guarantees and that this law promises. It is very important that first of all, we advised during the creation of this law, and we also provided some of the portions for this law. One of the aspects of this law is that it guarantees a temporary housing for the persons that were freed from illegal captivity. And the law 2010 that determines that this category of people have the first come, first served type of service, and there is a few categories of the people who are falling under this law, and those people that are coming from the temporary occupied territories, when they return back to Ukraine, they need usually they lose all their property, and they don't really have left anything with them. So they really need to get some housing in the territory of Ukraine. So we need those mechanisms that explain how exactly these norms are to be realized in practice. And after that, we propose to at the same time, the social protection for the people that returned from the captivity it was also adopted, and these ministries. Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine approved it approximately at the same time as the law. Also, I need to mention that this resolution of the Cabinet Ministers of Ukraine did not contain any kind of social protection paragraph in it at all. So we demand. And as far as a consequence, there is no mechanism of providing a housing for a person that's returned from captivity. So in this context, we decided to analyze in general how big this problem is, who is taking care of the local housing premises, and who do they belong to local governing maybe bodies and establishments, and we decided to check how exactly it works. So we checked around 380 towns of Ukraine, and in general I would like to notice that on the level of territorial communities, the people didn't even hear about this law at all. And right now, more than 7,000 people remain missing in action or stay in captivity. These are 70,000 people, and more than 10,000 people returned starting the 2023. And the so-called exchange, the biggest in scale, the return of the civilians, which was the biggest in scale, it was 51 civilians, many of which were captured before the full-scale invasion, and a lot of them were there because of confusion with paperwork. And they actually raised another question: what is going to happen to people like this after the war? And what are they going to do? What are they going to do? How are they going to live? We checked it, 381 communities. We have seen and received the official information from them that the majority of those communities, they informed us that they don't have any kind of programs that are aimed at the people who returned from captivity. More than around 8% said that they have a special foundation of a social housing premises available. However, nobody is requesting those from them. We invited them here, the representatives of those centers, they didn't find it possible to join us here today. And we also invited some of the people that we had a communication with. They help with housing of people, voluntarily help with housing the people that return. They have programs. We need to enlighten, so to speak, these stories, that successful stories of moving, of successfully providing a housing for a person that's returned from captivity. However, I need also to emphasize that there was no initiative from top. It was all from the bottom. And what we also seen that in general the communities find it quite difficult to orient themselves in the for the category of people such as returning from the captivity. They don't have a precedent for this, and they don't have any kind of programs. They do not take. They do not account for people like this, and they simply don't know about the existence of law of this law, and. I would like to ask to join my colleague with us, Svitlana. Maybe you can tell us better about. Yes, as the previous speaker said, we based our report on the information that we received from the communities, and this sample is not really pretending to be representative. However, the general picture is understandable, and it was we had this one type answers. Unfortunately, a temporary housing is not within the competence of their establishments, and those people that were addressing with this problem to the local authorities, they even joked that they are going to create an establishment like this, a institution that will help the others to get some housing. So some of the best examples are the Odessa Oblast that created 28 apartments and 53 apartments of social housing and 6 buildings, Zaporizhia Oblast, Zhytomyr Oblast, and however, during its answer, the Odessa Oblast answered that they did not have any persons who returned from the captivity, did not address them. So it is obvious that not only we need to create funds like this, we also need to inform the communities about them. So later we will speak more about the practical steps that foundations like this are taking. These foundations were created specifically for people who returned from the captivity. It's a few thousand hryvnias, and also and this person can spend for the housing and some necessary first necessity items, and also some premises were allocated in some of the oblasts were allocated. However, they didn't. Were not capable to answer a question about if they have any kind of regulations about the persons that returned from the captivity. So in Zaporizhia Oblast, they also had as temporary premises for returned from the captivity. Also, in our report on our site, you can see we have this organization of families of victims of the Kremlin regime, and we have recommended some changes to some resolutions in the government. In the resolution, as you can see, 495, we included the returned from the captivity, the liberated people from the captivity, to priority groups to provide them a first right for a housing. As it was already mentioned, that there is a certain formula according to which the priority lists are created, and for the community to know that they do have help like that. Also, it is necessary to include this category to different integrational programs that are building on a national level and also on a local level, and also that this person needs attention from both national level and community level. We also recommended to the national bodies and the local bodies to account for people like that, create registers, for example, and this is necessary for those people to understand what kind of rights they have. For example, maybe they can consult with each other. For example, in Zaporizhia Oblast, there was a program specifically aimed at that. Also, donors and need to work more on creation of special housing, because there is a need, there is a big demand for it, because the people who are returning, they need this housing. So from out of 385, only 5% communities provide any kind of help to the people that lived through the illegal captivity. Yes, but I need to add that there is categories. These categories of persons, they have. They are receiving aid in accordance with other programs, but not specifically with these ones that are aimed to at this specific category. Thank you for this information, Ms. Victoria. I hope you are with us. You hear us, and maybe your community, maybe you have found a method, a way to resolve these kinds of problems for the people that return from the captivity. Maybe we will retake your experience and use it. Hello, dear colleagues. I would like to say that indeed we have a very powerful program, and after its completion, we are going to discuss the questions that are on the priority list and the target program in Zaporizhia Oblast that we created. One of the steps that is included in there is for the people that were freed from the captivity, where to be put on par with the military personnel that was returned from the captivity. And I would like to note here that also 11 million hryvnias were spent this year for specifically to help the people that returned from the captivity, and and also 1.9 million hryvnias were spent in the frame the program that's coming from the captivity, and it also has some kind of a disability. At the same time, first or second group, we are paying out 700 hryvnias, and the second group 500 hryvnias. And in the state budget, we have. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. For the people that it was the fact of their captivity was proved, we have a very big layer of work before us, and we are discussing the possibility to increase the budget for the Oblast. And we also are discussing the category of children because it somehow fell out of the health improvements program, but we will return them there. Also, the military persons that are were retired or quit the army or are in reserve. We are also providing benefits for them. And some of the children that have been returned from the captivity right now, they have not been provided any kind of help apart from money, from financial, and that's why we're looking for different resorts where in the health facilities, health improvement facilities and resorts to provide them the possibility to rehabilitate. And temporary housing for the people who return from the captivity. We made it our goal is to create the possibility for them, and one of the methods to do this, ways to do this, we are allocating rooms separately if need be. And I would like to say that we also have the resolution approved by the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine, and it is not yet effective as of right now, but it approves the help or the aid for the people that live in the territories that had combat activities on them or around them, or if also we are discussing the possibility to freeze the interest rates for the credits from the population, and also we are discussing the possibility to aim these finances from the budget of the Oblast, and also we are looking at the possibilities to chip in from the parties, like local and national levels. We are raising these questions all the time, and also trying to help others as we can. So, Ms. Victoria, the people as the category of people that you said that the category of people who returned. You mean the 998 for crediting? No, for material help that's returned from the illegal captivity. You said that you provide 50,000 of material help to them in accordance with the program. Has it been a reaction to the addressing from the population, or you already had this program in place? It was 2024. It was a preliminary program, and we had the military administration here. It was their initiative. They wanted to support both military and civil people. Civilian people, and we understood, we had understanding that these finances are necessary for the people to survive, basically, and to find a place to live, to have some money, at least monthly, on a monthly basis. So this was our common joint initiative. So what are the problems that are that the former prisoners face when they return to their homes? Well, I think the biggest problem is psychological. So we all, as of today, we already have made some changes to the program of health support for the people that sustained damage from the enemy actions, and our Zaporizhia Oblast, as you may know, 60% it's captured. However, those parts that remain under our control, we have these resilience points, post offices, and these facilities provide a roof and other possibilities to charge your phone and have snacks, and those people that need social services also address more and more actively. The reputation, as it is known for the social services, is not too high, so we had to work on them in order to find some application, and also the people, the accent was made on the fact that the people that return from captivity and that are civilian at the same time are to be treated in a special manner in terms of providing them with the psychological help and thank you, Miss Victoria. Thank you for sharing your experience. It's really important, and here in the studio we have Miss Elena, and I would like to thank you first and foremost, Mr. Serhii. Maybe you will share first with what were the problems that you faced on the local or maybe national level. Oh, well, first of all, I would like to thank everyone to raise these questions because I think it is quite actual. It is. There are gaps that are in the law and that needs to be eliminated. Those gaps also need to be eliminated from the society. And because maybe somebody knows, maybe not, I was freed thanks to the special operation of Ihor, the Ukrainian intelligence, and when. How long did you stay in captivity? It was like 30 days on the basement, so to speak, and in Taganrog, I was 21 days. It was filtration, basically. It was a filtration camp. And I was moving out of there under the legend. I was pretending to be a seasonal worker, and so I had to carry some stuff with me to make it look like I am doing my business. And they met me. They took me to Kyiv, thanks to the civilian organizations who were helping on the way. Because this is all quite confusing, and the many laws were changed, and I was somewhere in a hotel. They gave me some money. I have a passport, but my first impression was. I didn't have a single hryvnia with me. I didn't have a mobile phone. I didn't have a telephone card. So I didn't have money to ride the metro, basically. And so that's why I'm just helping other civil organizations to do the same that was done for me, and some of those responsibilities were taken upon by some of my relatives and some of my acquaintances. Some of the people did provided me with housing, basically in Kyiv. And I basically had only to pay for the communal services. Those were just people who wanted to help. Yes. On the second day of me being in Ukraine, I was invited to come from one place to the other. However, I haven't yet met anyone before that, and it was like a parallel reality to me, like another life for me, and I had to ask in some cases for other people to help third people with the apartment or a place to stay. So it was a problem. It was a problem in the legal plane, in the realities that are going on in this society. How many months passed since you returned? It was 10 months. Did you manage to launch any kind of legal processes, any kind of campaigns? No. Well, first of all, I had to restore my documents in electronical form, but the application DIA is working. However, during the same time, I had to provide the copies of all the original documents in order to get a job, and you did not succeed. Well, I will just say my paperwork was not confirmed, and my finance telephone, thanks God, I accidentally found it, and thanks to that, I have provided myself with some help. And what are you doing in terms of housing right now? I rent a housing. On the outskirts of Kyiv, so to speak. Thank you for your story. How do you resolve this? I don't know. What about you? Well, my story is a little bit different because I was exchanged. I did not leave by myself. I did not. However, I must say nobody waited for me, and my children are students in a different city, and my husband is fighting at the war, and I returned by myself. For the people that are coming from the captivity. I now have a perspective that the person that's returning from the captivity, it needs, of course, it needs psychological, physiological, and others helps. But I think what is essential for, and it's essential both for the psychological and physiological recoveries. Those are social aspects of your life that are later in bringing together the rest portions of remaining portions of your life. And when I returned, I didn't have money. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have housing. I couldn't even what I had on me. That's what I had when I was captured. That's what I had when I was returning, and of course. What is essential is that I addressed literally the next day. I addressed the local authorities, and I was just looking for some help because I didn't know where to ask. So that's where I went, and it's already been said today that it's like another life. It is literally like another life, and what I have received from the local authorities is a bunk bed, like a folded bunk bed, and. I was, I didn't know how to react. I didn't know my rights. I didn't know what exactly I can ask. I didn't know who to ask about who to ask after this, and I did not receive any of this, and. As the representative of the Zaporizhia administration said, that there is help, but it maybe possibly it exists, but to get the documents that confirm your right to get those aids, you have to provide the paperwork that is facilitating the process. It took me basically 3 months, and I was told that it is quite fast, and the lawyers, the lawyers from other foundation, not the state lawyers, the people that worked with me voluntarily. Thanks to them, I managed to finish this in 3 months. But they said to me that it usually takes around a year. So is it really that hard? Yes, you have to provide all the paperwork, all the things that you had with stamps on it. You have to provide. All I had as a help from the local authorities was a bunk bed, and I was trying to ask. Maybe I was trying to find any kind of information about my rights, or even a direction I can go at. Where I could find some information, after I found, I was found housing. I called everybody that were on my phone list. I called them, and we found a small apartment, and I had to pay for it, and it was a small room with black walls, and it was a horrible situation. And when you enter the apartment, and there is nothing inside, just no dishes, no spoons, no forks, no nothing. There were difficult times, during my life, but not this bad. And what did something change since then? Yes, I did receive some other types of help, financial help, but I must say that the majority of those were not state, they were not national, they were private. So I was kind of by word of mouth going from organization to organization. And as a consequence of the captivity, I received a disability, and my health is deteriorating badly. However, this fact, despite the legal status of disability being confirmed, having been confirmed by the Zaporizhia court, and despite that fact, we appealed to the veterans organizations, to the ministry, and to criminal investigative groups. We provided information to all places, and it turns out that I don't have legal grounds to receive help. So so the torture is not a count. No, it's the consequences of what was done by human hands is not in their list. And the apartment line, I'm refused to be given a place in the line for the free housing, and I get refused everywhere because they are ruled by the law, of course, and there is no. I'm not eligible according to our law. As of right now, only military personnel that's returned from the captivity, or the people that were actively seeking help after the captivity, like me, and they had grounds, and they were also refused, and this cannot be proven. This is how it was formulated, and the refusals for the national apartment line, you don't have the right to have a place in this line, and this reflects, as you may imagine, on the rehabilitation process. And on the resort health improvement facilities, and nobody has proposed me anything. Such an answer was given to me. I don't know. Maybe some other people had different kind of answers. In terms of the housing, I came from Zaporizhia, and when a person is coming and seeking for, let's say, rehabilitation, trying to move somewhere, it's being directed to Kyiv, for example, and after they find there is a few programs and that they do work, but they are more like for the disabled people, but for the rest of us, like for example, a housing in Kiev, I did not find it. So I went through different programs that are working, and I was looking for a temporary housing for a person that's returned from captivity, and I got to, and during this process I got to know Mr. Hansen. He is building social housing for the veterans or internally relocated persons, and what I can say about it, it's apparently they have some level of checks conducted as to your identity, and they provided me with a temporary housing. However, I cannot get rid of this thought. What am I going to do tomorrow? I'm not going to live in this place, right? It's temporary, and that's why I'm constantly thinking about it. And I don't see any kind of opportunities that or any help that is maybe waiting for me. And some of the organizations, really few of them, answered that they will come back to me in before the end of the year. But I was told that our priority is fortification construction and the housing for the people that returned from captivity. No, there is no such program. And there was this condition also that a person has to be registered in the Zaporizhia Oblast. But the particularity of it, it was that the person had to have a confirmation that they're a temporarily relocated person, but they cannot get this status because they're actually running away from it. And okay, so there is still time. Maybe questions from the floor?
My name is Lorenzo Cremonesi. I'm writing for the Italian daily Corriere della Sera from Milano. It's very interesting. We never approached this subject. We always spoke about the soldiers who had been liberated, but not the civilians. And we saw you. We saw you coming out from Zaporizhia 2 years ago, from Mariupol, from Melitopol. The people I remember when you were coming out. But your problem is very interesting. First of all, I have two questions. At the beginning, Mr. Kotelianets gave two figures which I'd like to understand. You spoke about 70,000, if I'm not mistaken, civilians who are still prisoners. This number, 70,000 civilians. I would like to understand from where, if you can give us more detail. And you told us about 10,000 who return. Is that correct? I don't know. I got these two numbers. I don't know if it's correct. It's important to give a number, dimension, a figure of this phenomenon. And if it's possible to have some more detail about the lady, her name, where she was taken. I'm very much interested about how long she was in jail, when she was liberated, why, this stuff. Thank you.
Of course, Lawrence.
Так, дякую дуже за запитання. Я тоді почну.
Thank you for your question. I will start with the number 70,000. We don't know, in fact, how many civilians are there in captivity right now. Illegal imprisonment is a legal term. And 70th, but 70th. I was talking about 70,000, yes, but we are referring, we're just providing at least some numbers, official numbers. It is about the missing in action that are officially registered as missing in action. This is an official number, and we are pretty sure it is different from reality, and we understand that the portion of those people are the civilians that are illegally captured, imprisoned, and we have supporting data for this. That the civilians are right now located in the territory of the Russian Federation as a result of the Russian aggression against Ukraine. So we don't know other things, but what we do know is that we have channels that are not official. However, they give us basically a ground to discuss information. So you have seen the people that were invited here today. They were freed by themselves. They were. It's at some point the occupier let them go. You may be mentioned that these are the people that are today here, and we need to understand that people like that gets to freedom by themselves, not with the help by the military, but by themselves. They are the majority. They are not just the majority. There are a few times more people that go back to Ukraine from the captivity by themselves. It was confirmed that these numbers were confirmed by some of the independent observers. We don't know their concrete number. Why? Because people who get to freedom by themselves, they are going through Georgia, and they are not always coming back to Ukraine directly, and oftentimes they stay on their way somewhere in a European country because what those countries provide them are better possibilities for protection, for security, for livelihood, and why these people were taken away the possibility to receive some help. They were deprived of this right. Basically, when you are exchanged, when you're freed as a result of an exchange, there will be a commission. There will be SBU, Secret Service, General Staff representatives. They will see everything. They will register everything. They will type everything. It will be a fact, proven fact. For the other people that are returning from the captivity, we can't basically arrange the same procedure. This is to
return more or less. This 10,000 is number that you more or less you repeat. You can confirm about of these 70,000. We know they are not all the total, etc. But you're saying that 10,000 came back. That's a number that you can confirm. 10,000 civilians freed by themselves in some...
No, I can say that 70,000, we have number 70,000 today. It is a missing persons who now officially in Russia on temporary occupied territory, something like this. But I said about the number of people which were arrested by Russian military special services and were released. And now we know that thousands, we don't know exact number, but we know that thousands civilian people were released not in result of exchange, but only because Russian militaries let them go and they leave temporary occupied territories, and now they are in Ukraine. And we must understand that thousands of people, civilians people, were released, and now they need a basic package of support, like a temporary place for a leave. Yeah, but now we are waiting for releasing maybe for 20,000 civilians people. I very hope that they will be released by Russian Federation in result of negotiations between Ukraine and Russia. So a very huge number of people will need this place for leave, for temporary leave. And we must to prepare these rooms, flats, houses for them. І я сподіваюся, що я відповів на запитання.
Hopefully I have answered the question.
For today, it's only number of missing people for today.
У нас є запитання. Прошу.
Добрий день, Євген Кузьменко, Цензорнет.
Ivan Kuzmuk, internet newspaper. So we have this statistic, this percentage of the communities about the help to the civilians. The amount of the help isn't very large, to put it mildly. So those letters that are coming to the authorities, they are not replied or replied automatically oftentimes. So it is obvious that the state is being inactive on many levels. Passive, basically. I would just wanted to ask. It's a question for each of you individually. Why do you think our state has this attitude towards the former captives? So we have this indifference. What I see is indifference from the from the official representatives of the government. I was expecting that the people with professions adjacent to the military, they have. So they are not getting too much help, I would say. And now we are talking about the civilian ones. So basically, so what would be the reason, in your opinion? Maybe short, yeah. So we don't have much time. It will be short. Okay, so how do I say short about it? Nobody is ever has ever faced a situation like that when such an amount of people, tens of thousands of civilians could be imprisoned by the aggressor. We don't have a precedence like this in history, and as a consequence, we don't have a experience of how to deal with it. So we are trying to make some mechanism, to create some mechanism how to take care of these people. So you mentioned a military that is getting captured. Yeah, there is Geneva Conventions. There is a packet of paperwork that's already decided on that needs to be provided. And for the civilians, the list for the civilians it needs to be fair. It was also approved. However, it was not aimed specifically at the civilians who are coming back from captivity. There, it was a different category. But what I wanted to talk about first is that the people that had been imprisoned, for example, on the territory of occupied territory, and we need to have these facts put down and recorded because he had been tortured, he was taken away his property, and he has the right for help. And your question is right now it comes in context of another question. So the fact of the illegal imprisonment of a civilian who was freed by himself, who had returned by himself. How exactly do we account for him? How do we prove the fact that he did in fact was detained? For example, I propose. We have brought this little brochures. It is a short brochure. It provides the whole structure for our topic, and those other methods and ways of helping to those who return to the civilians. We have these materials, for example, and it is up to everyone to decide if they want to use it or not use it. And what I have seen that some people have experience, others don't. They have their opinions. There is different periods of time that the people spent on the territory occupied by the enemy. So in this context, there is a lot of factors that need to be taken into account, and the criteria that the law is offering right now, it's blurry. They're blurry, and there is no solid criteria. There is no members of commissions that have experience or skill in this matter, and they are trying their best. But what we would like to offer is for the restructurization of this commission. We have propositions about mobile groups that need to go and check on those people that are allegedly returned from captivity. If it happened in such a manner that a person did not get any help from the state after returning from captivity, we need to do something about this, to come up with some kind of plan. So regarding your question of working with the communities, as you may know, we had a decentralization, and those norms that the state announced as obligatory for executing is if a community doesn't have resources for some of the budget articles, items. If a local authority decides not to spend money for this or that paragraph, they have the right to do it, and nobody can stop them. So we know that some of the people that come from the captivity, they do not want to address this problem in terms of coming to us and reporting about it. And sometimes these people just want to be left alone and not be bothered. They don't want to remember anything that happened to them there, and they don't want to give any kind of documents to the police, or from one hand, a community maybe don't have this problem in view, or maybe the people do not come to them, and maybe the community have the impression that the people like that do not exist within their community, or maybe it is because bluntly they don't have any kind of resources and they just refuse to do it. So there is different obstacles to that, and it also needs to be taken into account. This category that we mentioned, among those is outstandingly high percentage of those who refuse to report about their return from the captivity. Thank you, Ms. Svitlana. Maybe a few more words. My opinion is that indeed, the society and the state are not ready for. I, as a representative of the community, I report to you that we're not ready. 70%. We're not ready. 70%. How to move it from this point, how to turn the page is unknown, because if we don't know how to change it, it will not be changed. Nobody will change it, and this is where we come in, and with the military and the civilians. Any kind of a military man he's being in charge of by the state. The state is in charge of this person. What about the civilian? They don't have any kind of labor relations with the government, and if I will not be provided any kind of help. Anything, and how am I going to address what will I be demanding from the state? I know the article of the Constitution that I can start with, and that's where I will start probably. I would like to say individually. What really pissed me off is that the civil organizations are taken care of by people. The people that are taking care of these organizations are not really fit for it, and the modern, our contemporary legislation is not any kind, in any manner organized. And on the third year of the war, it is quite surprising for me. This delays, this time dilution is. And also incompetence and basically of official, but from the side, from the official side, is resulting in stretching of the war itself, I think. Thank you, Mr. Serhii. I would like to thank again to all the civil organizations that are working on this problematic. Thank you for this presentation, and I would like to say all the people that joined us, thank you all working on our victory. Glory to Ukraine.